Guys, we are here with Blue this afternoon. We are at Home Depot. He is doing a great job. This is our first time out at Home Depot together. We've been going out to public for the last couple days now. He's been doing well. A couple things I do want to go over as far as just basic commands and basic obedience with him. Is I know we've already discussed the fact that he's a healer, and it's just kind of learning their personality. And they are a very strong-willed dog. They thrive on being a leader, and like we've talked about, that's their job, is to really be a leader. So, they always want to be the one that's deciding like where we're going, how fast we're going, what we're doing. And he wants to do things on his terms. So it's really important that at this age, you really apply structure with him and have a lot of follow through and consistency as far as what you guys want him to do and what you do not allow him to do. Okay, so making sure that, even, I know it seems like a really tiny thing, but when you're taking a walk and he tries to get slightly ahead of you, like right there, see how his nose is ahead of me? He's now leading the walk, right? So even though it's slightly, he's still taking the lead. And he's doing good with walking on a loose lead, but he still tries to get in the front, right, where he's taking control. So it's really important. If you put him in a sit and you notice he's ahead of you, that's a good indicator right there that he was walking too fast, right? So a couple good little tips are, before you start moving, keep him in that sit and you take that step forward. So immediately I'm already in the lead before we start walking. He can't follow my lead if we take off and he's in front of me. There's no way for him to follow me, right? So keeping him slightly behind me. And then another really good tip is to try walking really slow. Most of the time people almost try and catch up with their dogs because they're pulling them and they want to take the lead in the walk. Try going really slow and making your dog work with you at your pace, right? So, okay, and this is really loose pressure, as you can see. I did that with just between my fingers. Okay, so when we start moving, I say heel. Watch how slow I'm gonna go. Right, so already, look, see, now he's trying to get ahead of me, and I just use those tiny little pops to say, now I'm gonna turn. So now he's behind me again, right? If he was in front of me and I turn, now he's behind me. So, okay, so we're gonna go slow right there. See, he's trying to take the lead out, so I'm gonna turn again and make him go behind me. So I'm never letting him take the lead in the walk. I'm always switching things up. I'm not going to go in a straight line. That's going to get really boring. He's not going to want to pay attention to me. Notice there's 1,000 things for him to look at and sniff and explore right now because he's never been here. So to watch me, which is something he's seen 100 times now, isn't very exciting. So we have to find a way to make that exciting for him. So doing zigzag patterns, making him think, doing stops, doing placing, even things like this, having him come onto like a pallet. Place. Good boy. Right, so we're giving him something to think about. Now I have my high value treats, which are just a new treat. He loves everything. You're not going to find something that Blue doesn't love. But giving him, high value treats so that he knows that there's something more exciting than the distraction. Okay. Good boy. So now right there, see, we took off. I can give him that little pop to kind of say, pay attention, think about it. If you have to do more than 2 to 3 pops, go to a full stop. So if you have said, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, and he's still not paying attention, then you have to say, okay, then calm down. All right, so again, see how we stopped and he sat and he's in front of me. I'm going to take that step forward. And if he tried to brake, I was going to reapply pressure, but he's doing really good with that. I've been practicing even just doing little things like moving around. Okay, buddy, come on. When you do takeoffs, so that he learns just because I moved doesn't mean we're taking off. He doesn't get to move until I say HEL. And so this is the kind of stuff that I practice with them. And this is the kind of stuff that I want you guys to practice with him, because he's going to respect me as a handler because I've practiced all of this with him. And it's going to be easier for you guys because you're not going to have to teach this to him now. That's what I've done for you. You're just going to have to implement it and practice it with him now. So it's not, like I've said, unfortunately, dog training isn't magic. It's strictly teaching your dog what a certain behavior is and then repeating it over and over and over and over until it becomes a learned habit from them. Good job. That was great. Heel. Good boy. Right, so I can do so many repetitions to the point where it's becoming a behavior now. But he's so young that it's impossible to say anything is set in stone right now at this stage. We have started building the house. Like I said, we built the foundation with his training with me, and then it's going to be up to you guys to build the house with him once he comes home and let him know, now that you understand what all of this stuff means, we're going to implement it into our everyday life and give him routine and give him structure so that he understands that this is how we just kind of, this is just kind of how we do things now, right? So, doing a nice structured heel with him and not letting him pass is really doing a lot for you as a handler, because the more stops you do, the more turns you do, the more pops you do, you're communicating with him. You're telling him something every single time. This is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. You don't want to just keep getting mad because he's pulling, right? That's not going to ever help anything. So you have to make sure that he understands this is what I want, and you're communicating with him in a way that he understands, which is his slip lead now, right? So heel. Good boy, Blue. Heel. So right there, he took off, and he's a little ahead of me, right? So I can give him a little pop. He still didn't slow down enough, so I turned. Okay, so with Blue, most of the time, he's kind of just like I said, he walks nicely on a loose leash, but that does not mean he's following you, okay? So you have to make sure that you are being the leader, and this is a great way for you to practice. Come on, buddy. Practice being the leader in a situation. And if you do that every time you take him for a walk, he's going to have more respect for you as a handler because he knows you have follow through. So if you let him get away with getting in front of you sometimes because it's like, the leash is loose anyway, right? Doesn't matter if the leash is loose. You have to make sure that he's following your lead. If he's ahead of you, then the whole point of a heel is broken. Good job, buddy. Heel. Right, so heel means follow me at my pace. It doesn't mean walk with a loose leash, right? So right there, if I turn, see, he got all tripped up because he was too far ahead. Yes, we had a loose leash, but look, he's not paying attention to me. Again, he's not paying attention. Total loose leash, right? So now I'm going to make those left turns. Those left turns are great because he gets bumped into, and it kind of forces him to realize, oh, I wasn't paying attention. Right hand turns are good because it allows you to realize that he is not paying attention to you. Good job, buddy. Yeah, you could say hi as long as he doesn't jump.
No jumping. Yes. I know. Your little black face, half black. That is adorable.
He's a cutie. Off.
Okay.
Sit. All right, so he starts to get too worked up, and we're just going to get him back into that calmer state of mind again. Let's fix his leash. Okay, yep. All right, so notice, she asked if she could pet him. The first thing I said is as long as he doesn't jump. Now, it's okay for you to say no sometimes. That's fine. You have to let him know that you don't get to say hi to everybody you meet, because not everybody loves dogs, and not everybody loves dogs that are jumpy. And you have to really make sure you're implementing the no jumping with him, right? So especially with you having kids and it being a really important thing, you have to make sure that he understands that nothing good comes when his paws are off the ground, or like when he's using his teeth, picking things up off the ground, picking up the kids' toys, being too mouthy when he's playing. Those are all situations where you have got to be a dominant leader for him and a dominant handler at this point in his life, or I promise you, a healer is going to just rule your life. And the hardest thing is that they're just the really smart dogs. And it's not that he could necessarily be a bad dog, but he will be very strong-willed, I guess is a good way to put it. That, like I've said multiple times, he's very, you can see, you can take him for a walk, you can bring him to the store. He's a really smart dog, he really is. It's just learning the breed and making sure that you have that dominant handler, or otherwise he's going to have to be the dominant one in this situation. So you got to decide now who you want to control this relationship. Does he listen to you, or do you just follow his cues, right? So yeah, all in all, like I said, he's doing a great job. As long as we just continue to keep doing these kind of things with him now as a baby, he's going to grow up and be a very well-rounded boy. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to write stuff down or anything like that for our take-home lesson, so that you don't forget to ask me. Yeah, that should be about it for now. So we will set up Blue's take-home lesson in just the next couple days. And you guys will see him shortly. So hope you guys have a good one. Bye, Blue.